Recognized.
With the permission of the body and the leadership of the Senate, I rise on a matter of personal and collective privilege.
Yes, please proceed, Your Honor.
Mr. President, dear colleagues, 20 years ago this month, a phone call changed the course of our country's history. To jog our collective memories, recorded phone calls between a presidential candidate who was then trailing behind the votes and then election commissioner Virgilio Garceliano resulted in the biggest electoral crisis this country has ever seen. To be specific, there were around 15 calls, but it was one phone call that echoes in our history forever as Hello Garci. The ignominy still rings today, and its brazenness echoes in eternity. In Hello Garci, a leader who had placed her hand on the Bible to swear before God and people that she will obey the laws of land was clearly heard shopping for votes to salvage an electoral debacle. Dito sa Pilipinas, may kasabihan tayo na walang kandidatong natatalo, puro nadadaya lang. Pero sa pagkakataong ito, hindi lamang nahuli ang magnanakaw sa akto, nagsorry pa. The phone call recorded a woman's voice panic buying for votes. In fact, it recorded a presidential nominee pressing election Commissioner Garceliano, who was on the other end of the line, to produce 1 million votes. The call echoed a haggling for more votes. To quote, the transcript would show, yung dagdag, yung dagdag. It was not a polite conversation one would expect between a sitting president and a constitutional officer. To 85 million eavesdropping Filipinos, it confirmed an open secret about our elections, that votes can be bought and, for those that could not be bought, can be changed. At a time when ballots were manually counted, Garceliano, though he was no tabulating machine, meekly gave his assurance that 1 million votes would be reflected in the certificates of canvass, COC. True enough, some of the COCs, or now certificates of cheating, were later transmitted to Congress, standing as delivery receipts of the votes that were ordered. And when discrepancies were pointed out during the congressional canvass, they were ignored and buried under an avalanche of noted, noted, noted. And that was how Filipinos lost the election in 2004. The loser was proclaimed winner. Kung malaki ang tinaya, mas malaki ang kailangang ikubra. Huwag sana mabaon sa limot na ang Hello Garci scandal ay nanganak ng sandamakmak na impeachment complaints, isang bonggang fertilizer scam worth 728 million pesos, PhilHealth card scam worth 530 million pesos, and the North Rail project worth $503 million para lang may pambayad sa mga tumulong mag-deliver ng boto at maging ang lisensya para sa Maguindanao Massacre. In short, it was the people who paid for the crimes of the Hello Garci actors. Mr. President, a good 2 decades have passed since the Hello Garci was pulled off, and I'm recalling it today not as a daughter of a decent man who was robbed of votes, but as a senator of the Republic who believes it is her duty not to let this blot in our history fade from the nation's memory. In doing so, I'm just taking the cue from my father, who died heartbroken for the people who were let down by the system. But while the father may have forgiven those who did him wrong, the daughter will never forget the names nor the crimes that were committed to our people. More than the need to move on, we must move forward, because I believe it is not the passing of time that heals wounds or mends wrongs. It can only be cured if we apply remedies that will prevent it from happening again, of lessons so powerful that it deters repetition by sanctions that await those who try to commit it once. Tragedies ought to be teachable moment for us, and the Hello Garci episode should have birthed laws that would prevent it from revisiting us. But on this, I am sad to note it did not fully happen. Yes, Yes, there were laws passed, like poll computerization and minor fixes, but the biggest scourge, the buying of votes, has not been purged out of our politics. Our counting may have turned electronic, but our machines are fast aging. Aside from technological reforms, a lot more needs to be done in our electoral landscape. These include redefining what electoral crimes words like premature campaigning, vote buying, and vote selling cover. Campaigning should effectively start as candidacy is filed, and vote buying should include all possible modes like the buying of votes through e-wallets. And we saw in 2022. Electronic na po ngayon, Mr. President. On this note, I will be filing a bill which shall prohibit vote buying and selling through electronic means or yung mga pagbili ng gamit ang GCash or Maya. So much must be done in so little time. We are fast approaching the midterm national elections next year, and yet the landscape has not changed much since the electoral crisis 2 decades ago. It is when we fail to act immediately that the Hello Garci crisis continues to haunt us. There were many impeachment complaints, but no one was pushed for this crime. The guilty remains in power, taking refuge in our collective amnesia to delete our memory on the wrongs they have committed. Pagala-gala pa rin si Garci, parang wala lang nangyari. Matagal kong pinag-isipan kung sasariwain ko uli itong mapait na yugto. Ngunit hindi ito isang personal na bagay lamang. Ito ay kasaysayan na dapat hindi malimutan, dapat magsilbing aral sa bago at darating pang henerasyon. History is neither political nor personal. Hindi na memersonal ang kasaysayan. Isinasaad lamang kung ano ang nangyari. Paalala ito sa atin na dapat mamili kung anong legasiya ang nais nating iwanan sa ating mga anak. Today, let history show us the way. Here is a film presentation that details the events that unfolded in 2004. But before that, I would like to thank... Well, go ahead first with the film presentation.
Ako po si Fernando Cudillo. Nalalaho sa pagkakapuno.
Sa aking pagboto ngayon, ako ay nagdadasal, ay balota ay batayang instrumento ng demokrasya.
We hereby proclaim Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Hello, Garci. Ma'am, okay, mas mataas po siya, pero mag-compensate po sa lalaw yun. So, will I still lead by more than 1M? More or less, it's not advantage, ma'am. Kinaman lang po sa atin. We are now sympathetic to us. Pero nga, yung advantage of that. We will get in advance. Kakasapin mo natin kung ano ang kanila.
Sir, can we just clarify? So you're saying that it was indeed the president's voice?
That's the president's voice. Nang naalala ko po doon, sir, merong daw nangyari na hocus-pocus po sa mga botohan.
Malaking bandarayan nangyari. Natabunan yung dapat na mga magagandang plano.
Maliwanag naman di ba? Nag-sorry pa nga, di ba?
GMA lost heavily in the Lingayen-Lucena corridor, in spite of the rampant vote shaving in regions 1 to 5 and NCR. In order to win, she needed more than just the additional 951,695 voters in the PCIB area. GMA needed Mindanao, which undoubtedly was FPJ territory. And this is why GMA made at least 15 calls to Garci.
So will I still lead by more than 1M?
42 or 45% had so many votes for FPJ. Pero yung 100% in the congressional count he has even less votes. Imposible yun eh. So there's something wrong there. Right away, that should be checked out.
I didn't need the Garci tapes to convince myself that GMA's administration party had cheated.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. Doon sa Lanao del Sur at sa Basilan, hindi lang nagmamatch yung SOB sa COC. Ayaw ko lang kung sa atin pabor o hindi. Kasi doon naman sa Basilan, sa Lanao Sur, itong ginawa nila na yung pagpataas sa inyo, hindi naman maayos naman ang paggawa eh. So nagmamatch? Oo.
Sabi nga po nila, sa Mindanao, zero daw si PJ. Pero hindi po naniniwala ang taong bayan ng zero doon.
The ERs of Puna Bayabao showed FPJ with 42% of the votes, but the municipal COC and provincial SOVs give GMA 100% of the votes and 0 for FPJ. In this statement of votes by city or municipality from Puna Bayabao, 100% of the votes are for GMA and all other candidates score 0. This is a statistical impossibility.
Ang nakita natin sa election return, may boto ang ibang mga kandidato. Hindi lang si Fernando ang may boto, pati si Villanueva. Lahat ng kandidato may boto.
Yung si Juan, Gloria Macapagal, PLD. Lahat ng Lanao del Sur, PLD. Ang manalo si Fernando po.
We have an interesting discovery in the municipality of Isulan. Note the number of registered voters. 300. Actual voters, 300. And look now at GMA's total votes, 1,041. How did that happen?
Ang pinakamaliwanag na pandaray yung refleksyon ng election return doon sa certificate of canvass. Hello, guys. Ma'am.
Sadyang dinaya po lang yun. Sana wag naman ganun.
Here is the total effect of Dagdag Bawas in Mindanao in favor of GMA. As a result of the tampering by Garciliano and his operators, GMA got what she wanted, a fabricated margin of 1,063,772.
I, your name,
Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, fulfill my duties
as President of the Philippines,
as President of the Philippines.
reserve
Kahit high-tech, kahit hindi, basta yung mga namamahala, takot gumawa ng kasalanan, sir. Wala tayong magagawa, walang magkakadayani.
Sana maging pares lang para hindi magulo.
Magbabalik na kusa ang buhay mo.
Safest thing that you have done is you have stolen the presidency not once but twice.
Ang bunis ng iyong kapwa.
Ang serbisyo ko sa inyo ay walang katapusan.
Bago mo linisin ang
to Garci Garciliano to doctor the elections is unquestionably, indisputably, and definitely Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Pinanagutan ko ng lubusan ang aking mga ginawa at humingi ako ng tawad sa inyo sa lahat ng mabutihing mamamayan na nabawasan ang tiwala dahil sa mga pangyayaring ito. I am sorry.
Kailan po parehas. Pag nagbutuhan, kailangan walang kikilingan at walang... kailangan parehas lang po. Laban po ng parehas.
Di niya isinaalang-alang ang damdamin ng nakararami. Manhid, hindi ko matatanggap ang iyong sorry.
We long
lost a great, compassionate leader of our country.
Isang pamunuan na walang itatago kahit anong bagay sa taong bayan. Isang pamunuan na uunahin ang interes ng nakakarami. At sama-sama po tayo magtulong-tulong at kumilos na para sa isang bagong umaga.
The running mate of FPJ, Senator Lauren Legarda, for standing by him, Senator Chis Escudero, for not just standing by FPJ, but our family, for being with our family during those darkest moments, and for helping me be here today. And to the following also who supported the impeachment, Senator Joel Villanueva, Senator Cynthia Villar, Senator Sonny Angara, Senator Alan Cayetano. I would also like to thank Senator Coco Pimentel, who at that time wasn't actually a legislator yet, but who gave me this book. Ito po nakalagay. Grace, so that you may know the details of what they did to your father. Good luck, more power. Coco, February 23, 2009. Lahat yan, no? May mga marks. Talagang binasa ko. Maraming salamat, Coco. I would also like to thank my kinakapatid, Senators JB and Jinggoy. I know you also felt so helpless at the time. But your sympathy and also, alam ko, JB, sinamahan mo si Papa. Jinggoy naman, kasama ka sa campaign kung ano ng mga pinagagawa mo, pero okay naman. I would also like to thank, although she's not here with us physically anymore, Marichu Vera Perez Maceda, who put together all of those files. Alam ba ninyo kung gaano nakahirap maghanap sa YouTube, kaya nga wala akong mahanap na interview ni Senator Chis. I would also like to thank Senator Amy, who attended the wake of my dad and also the President. Although hinahanap ka na namin nung impeachment, medyo nawala. Pero anyway, I would also like to thank the father of Senator Nancy Binay, Vice President Binay, who also stood by us during those times. Maraming dapat pasalamatan. Actually, ginawa ko to. Pinag-isipan ko, ilalabas ko pa ba ito? Kasi baka sabihin naman nila, hanggang ngayon ba nagsa-sour grape? Hindi po, wala po akong puot na nararamdaman. Kaya lang lungkot lang na sana, kasi mag-e-election na naman next year, di ba? Sana naman medyo maging maayos kasi rampant na rin na naman yung vote buying eh. And if we want good people to run this country, we really have to make an effort to guard our votes and to make sure that there's a level playing field. So, Mr. President, I also want to thank you for your good example. At alam mo na yon, I really admire you and I respect you. You were probably the casualty of that conflict. But definitely, I would like to thank my colleagues here for giving me this time. This is the first time that I delivered a privileged speech unannounced ahead of time. Thank you for your indulgence.
Maraming salamat, Senator Grace po. Thank you.